What's up, everybody? Drew, aka Catching Rockets. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. Um, got some pretty exciting setups, so we'll start there. Um, First one I'm going to be looking at is Apple, and I'm doing something a little different. Where um, did I just completely like put in the wrong ticker? Nice, positive. Pretty sure this is not my first time doing this. Sorry, everybody. Um, But anyway, I wanted to show the thought process so people understand exactly what I'm looking at. That way, there's no questions or confusion, hopefully. Um, the first setup I'm looking at is going to be on Apple. I'm looking for calls over 271 and 60 cents. And then my first trim will be at 272.65. I'll show this a bit later on the chart, but basically the setup we have here, if we look at the full send, most people should understand this, but basically this is based on Elliott waves. Um, and what it does, this is probably the best way to show it, is just to go to like a higher time frame. Um, it prints like a 1 for the first Elliott wave, 2 for the second Elliott wave, 3 for the third. And then when it comes down to 4, 4 is generally the cleanest um, and generally the largest move. But like in this case, 3 was the largest move. But generally, 4 to 5 will have like the cleanest run where you don't have like a bunch of retracements and whatever else. Um, and so this indicator literally just counts the Elliott waves for you. So like here, 1, 2, 3, this is 4, and then it triggered the full send and went up. So when we get these, for it to be completed, 5 needs to go higher than 3. So you can see in all of these instances, the 5, or it needs to go lower if it's a full send down. So to complete the Elliott wave cycle, the 5 needs to go, again, if it's downwards, it needs to go lower than the 3. If it's upwards, it needs to go higher than the 3. Okay. And basically we have it on 30-minute, 1 hour, um, 65-minute, 2 hour, and also 4 hour. And generally when I have like these 5 cells is when I catch. Like if I have full sends on all 5, is generally when I catch like the really good moves on option setups. So on top of having the full sends, we also have what Shorty named a bullish backdoor, which just basically means when we're trading inside of the clouds, these are considered, oh yeah, these are considered like money shots. So either bearish money shot or bullish money shot to the upside. When we break above the clouds, it would be a bullish backdoor where we're looking to come in, retest, bounce. And right now we're doing a second retest and we're looking for that same bounce, right? Um, and then I can kind of show you guys historically, like here. I'm not going to go over this on all of these, but so this was breaking above our cloud. This was our retest. This was the run, right? We got another retest and a good move to the upside, another retest, good move to the upside. Um, and you can kind of just go back historically and see these on like other time frames as well. So like this is, this cloud here is a weekly cloud. This is our daily cloud. And here we broke through, we got our retest here and then ran all the way up into the weekly cloud. Um, Another smaller one here, broke through, retest, got a good move, retested again, got another good move, so on and so forth. I know there was more, and I know there's some that didn't work. I'm kind of zoomed in like super close right now, so um, I'm pretty sure there was some that didn't work. Oh, so here's one. Like here we broke through. This would be our retest. You did get a little move up, but then when they came back to it, they broke back down below. Um, and if you didn't get out here, you would have got stopped out. Uh, here's one that basically didn't work. We broke through, got our retest here, and then kind of just petered out, right? Traded flat. Here's our break above retest, got a decent move. Second retest, got a decent move, and then came back inside on the third retest. This one here, I would consider a fail because this was our retest here, and then we just kind of petered sideways, right? I mean, it did end up going higher, but it took a while, and it wasn't like a good, bounce to the upside. So I would just say that's a loss. So anyway, that's an explanation of what we're looking at. And so, again, just to kind of show where we are, broke above. This was our initial retest, and now we're coming back and retesting again. Okay. So on my setups, what I'm actually looking for, so basically when price crosses through 271.60, I'll be hopping in calls. I'll take a first trim at 272.65. So basically meaning if I'm holding more than one contract, I'm going to close one here. And at that point, my stop loss would be break even. If I'm holding more than two contracts, then I would trim a second one here. And then my stop loss would become my first trim. And then if it makes it up to here, I'm closing everything at 276.40. Technically, based on Elliott waves, we should go higher than this candle, 277. So if you want to hold for that, you're more than welcome to. I just don't like to push things. And even though I know logically and based on Elliott waves, we should make it up here, I'm good taking my profits here and walking away with a nice win. So that's my plan on Apple. Next one is going to be Amazon. As you can see, we basically have exactly the same setup as Apple here. The only difference is, that we've basically come all the way back inside the cloud, right? I believe this was earnings though, and now we basically have like a bull flag at support. And then if we look here, we actually have a full send on 20-minute, 30, 1 hour, 65-minute, 2 hour, 4 hour. So I'm expecting this to work. If it doesn't, it's all good. It's not as clean as Apple, but it's still a good setup. Sorry, I'm trying to get back to where I was. So basically we can see like the top of this cloud is 249.34. So even if it just comes back and touches the top of that, I would be good. But I'll show you guys the setup that I'm looking at right now. I don't think I covered this. The bottom of the cloud, 243.18. So even if we come down lower, I would like to be in calls if we come down and tap 242.52. This is going to be like a pretty key support resistance flip, I believe. I could be wrong. It acted as resistance a few times here, and I think a retest would give us a nice bounce. If not, if we open and we're bullish over 245.71, I'll be in calls. First trim 247.40, and then I'll be closing at 248.79. Again, same thing with this. We should be breaking over our all-time highs here, but again, I'm going to get out, take my money, and run. So that's the plan. Just FYI, anybody in Discord, feel free to unmute and speak if you want, if you have questions or whatever else. I'll show you guys this. I'm not going to be running it. I think it was CRM. Oh, wait, no, it's not. What did I see? I think CRM we did last week, and it's already like played out. Yeah, it's at the daily top right now. Um, or actually, I didn't give you guys this trade last week, and you're probably gonna be like, "What the fuck?" But I saw that calls were gonna be good here over 255.40, and here it is. We broke over, actually retested it, and then ran. Um, but I couldn't find like a good entry where I was worried about like basically like you can't ignore this here as a possible area for rejection. And basically I just couldn't find like a decent move that I was happy like calling out, but it did work out, or at least it's working out so far. Based on Elliott waves, we should be cracking above this. There was one other thing, and I'm trying to think of what it was. I guess it's not important. There was a setup that I saw, and yeah, Aries, I'm live in Discord. Um, so there was one other setup that I saw, um, where I guess it doesn't even matter. I don't know why I'm talking about it, but basically, they um, kind of the same thing as CRM, where we're gonna get a nice run, but I couldn't find an entry I liked where I wasn't worried about a rejection, like pretty close to the entry, so I haven't included it. Um, so that's that. Um, I'm gonna shut down this software really quick, like all my full send stuff, and then we'll get into Spy. And the plan tomorrow is to be live. I definitely want to catch those option setups on my long term port. Oh, I guess I should show you guys this as well. I feel like a little bit of a idiot on this one, but it is what it is. I'm sure it will do well, and I'm not terribly worried about it. But anybody that was live, I think it was last Tuesday with me, um, we had called out Netflix. I think it was Tuesday, where I was saying this is a buy down here when we were at like 1,087. And when I was talking about this, I was saying, regardless of the bad earnings, it was definitely a buy here, and that they would probably be announcing a 10-for-1 stock split soon. So anybody that was live, you heard me talk about it before they announced the stock split, which was on Thursday. Um, then for people that were live with me on Friday, um, I had mentioned that I was probably going to buy 5 contracts here, and I bitched out and I didn't buy them, and I don't know why. Because it's like this was ideal. If we look back, like this was an area where they consolidated before they really ran, and not only did we consolidate here, but they came back and gave us a nice clean retest, and then like really, took off and made new all-time highs. Um, so this is kind of like an ideal spot to be a buyer. Um, Sorry, and I'm trying to show you what I ended up doing. Uh, so I had talked about this on Friday. Um, Sorry, I'm going to try to do this so that I'm not revealing a bunch of information that I don't want to reveal. There we go. So I mean, obviously this could be faked or whatever, but it's real. This is my Charles Schwab account. On Friday, um, was it Friday? It was not Friday. This was Wednesday. I might have my days mixed up, but for people that are like loyal followers, you guys know, we called out the 10 for 1 stock split before it happened. I called out buying here. And again, I don't know why I bitched out. I didn't buy. But then right after they announced the 10 for 1 stock split on the live, I was like, basically, as soon as this ends, I'm going to go buy 5 shares. That way, after the 10 for 1 split, I have 50 shares. And whenever they call out a split, you'll generally get like a pretty good run before the split, as people like my stupid ass start buying, anticipating the split, instead of being smart and buying before, like I said I was going to. And then after we do get the split, price will generally run pretty good right afterwards. This is probably not something I want to hold long term. I'm not a really big fan of Netflix as a company, but definitely, thanks Triple G. Definitely happy to make some money off of them, if possible. You know. So anyway, just um, basically being revealed to you guys, and showing that I do act on what I speak on. Um, which one are you talking about, JD? How far out would I play what? Or if you're asking about like Apple and Amazon. So for me, both of these are day trades. And basically, the way I determine that is like, um, when I'm looking at a move, I look at kind of like what the average move is in a day, right? Um, and so here, let's just use this as like an average day. It's almost 9 points. And if I go from, my entry to here, I can easily do half of that in one day, right? Um, so for me, this is a day trade. What I don't do though is I don't call out specific, um, what's it called? Specific strikes or specific expiration dates. For me, as a trader, I'll probably grab Apple with like, a good week's worth of before expiration. That way I don't get destroyed by theta if there's some sideways chopping action. Um, and that way it's not like rough for me to sit in the trade if we're chopping sideways or whatever else, I'm not getting wrecked by theta. And if we get the move, then I should still make decent money. So that's that. And then Amazon, it's the same thing. I'm looking for, um, this would be a day trade as well. And kind of the same thing where you look at, like the average um, move in a day, and 3 points in a day should be very doable even on like slower days. For Amazon, this is 2.86, and this is a really slow day. Like the average day is at least 3 or 4 points, I would guesstimate. um, so based on that, I just make it a day trade. If you're trying to target like the new all-time high, like for the Elliott wave to complete, um, same thing. I would be looking at contracts like a week or two out, and I would be targeting like swinging for like a day or two. Um, but again, I would just grab the extra time. That way, you're not getting destroyed by theta. It was not QCOM, Christian. All right. So now back over to SPY. Um, I don't remember exactly what I was looking for. Um, well, so a couple of things. We were looking for a retest of the previous day value high, which obviously we didn't get. We were looking for them to drop below and retest previous day value high for puts. We were looking for a breakout above previous day value low for calls. And we were also looking for calls on a retest of the spike base, right? And it looks like that's the one trade that worked out. I didn't see, so from like what I'm watching, if you grab this, for calls, this was not terrible. They didn't really give us like a nice clean retest of the buy side high volume node and the spike base. They kind of just came below and chopped around a little bit, and then they broke back above and just ran. They never gave us a nice clean retest. But if anybody did slap by here, hopefully you didn't get stopped out, and you should have got a nice run if that's the case. This probably, I mean, it doesn't matter now in retrospect, but this probably was not a bad spot to grab calls to swing over the weekend. 80% rule. It looks like we spent more than 45 minutes below. I'll check just to make sure. But yeah, it's hour and 45 minutes. Breaking back above, this is your retest of the previous day value area low, and we should come up and tap this, and I wouldn't be surprised for them to just gap in the overnight session. With that said, I want to hop into futures right now because we're about to open in 10 minutes, and I want to be ready in case I see something I want to take. So I'm loading up my other charts, Quantower, to look at high volume nodes, see if we see a setup that we like for right now in the overnight session. And then we'll come back to SPY. I don't know what that is. Okay. I mean, I haven't heard that, but doesn't. No, no, no. I'm just saying I haven't heard it, and I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's not something I'm familiar with. So, I don't talk on things I'm not familiar with, basically, other than saying I'm not familiar. This is weird. Oh, is this still loading? Why can I not delete this? Whoa. Okay, let me pull this up so you guys can see. Oh, there we go. Now I can delete. Thank you. All right. It's a lot of orders here. But I guess it's the end of the day on a Friday. Um, hmm, I don't know. I mean, if there was a brick wall there where we kept rejecting at 6,900, I mean, I can see, at the end of the day on Friday, um, they were selling there, right? But we've already been higher than that. And yeah, unfortunately, I think this is going to be a little bit harder than I would like for it to be. They're probably going to run like right from here, I would guess. If we don't gap up, that is, which I have a feeling we're going to gap up. But I don't think this is going to offer us any help for right now, anyways. Oh, and then for everybody, I was talking about this last week. I don't remember the exact date, but I've been talking about this. I don't know if I can show you guys. Um, I can show you guys this way. You're gonna have to excuse my dog's beds and whatever else, but um, this I can't see if it's looking good. Sorry. I'm pulling up my software so I can see if you guys can see what I'm showing you. Okay, yeah. So I think everybody can see that's a computer, right? Sitting on my floor in the middle of my bedroom. Um, that is going to hopefully be a streaming PC for cluster charts and footprint charts. And hopefully I'll be streaming it 24 hours a day. I was hoping to get it done by this weekend, but like, where is it? AMP. Oh, just to kind of show you guys, um, I've been working on it over the weekend. Trying to get everything set up. Because I think it'll be helpful for a lot of people to have access to those that whatever don't have a PC, um, don't have a way of running Quantower, or don't want to spend the $35 a month or whatever it is for the footprint charts. But so I set everything up, but my account is under review, right? So I can't start streaming until the account is approved. But so as soon as that gets approved on Discord, you can't see it. What? You can't see what? Oh, okay. Well, you'll just have to take my word, Eras, that there's a computer sitting on my floor that I did a clean install of Windows on, and basically just removed a bunch of the bloat. I mean, it's actually like a nice computer, so it'll run good regardless. But I wanted to like really like streamline it and have it running nicely, so that when it's going 24 hours a day, it doesn't have a bunch of glitches and whatever else. Um, hey, what's up, Wink? Well, I'm always here. Good to see you, man. Um, so anyway, computer is all set up, ready to go. I just need to install like Quantower on it. My plan is to stick it just in my closet in my master bedroom. But for right now, I don't have any plugs in there. So I'm going to hire an electrician to come out, put a plug in my master bedroom. I mean, I could probably do it myself, but I don't like to mess with electricity. And then after that's done, I mean, for now, I'm just going to put it in my laundry room, but it's going to be like in the way. Um, so eventually, the plan is to get an electrician out, put in a plug in my master bedroom's closet, and then that way it could just be shoved in there in the corner, not bothering anybody. Um, and that room also tends to stay fairly cool, so that will help on it running better. Leslie, I don't trade gold, so I am not the person to ask. Um, and yeah, um, the sorry, what was I going to say? So anyway, the plan is to ultimately just having it running the cluster charts and also footprint charts, whatever, 23 hours a day, 6 days a week for people that don't have access. Um, Interested in seeing how the open goes here. So this is 68 to 70. Basically, right of our previous day value area low and our previous week value area low is where I'm looking to go long, depending on how we react at the open here. For everybody in Discord, I should be live tomorrow. For people in Keenan's, I will be live as well. I'll post a link later for Zoom. And now we're open. We got a little gap, no surprises. Pull back to here. I'll be slapping by. Um, Actually, I'm probably going to stick my order there right now. Yeah, I was just thinking if we reject here, I'll probably put my take profit right there. Um, if they manage to bring this up to 88, then I'll put my take profit there. Looks like rejecting here. Kind of what I figured, 83. So I'll do 82.50. It's still 2 to 1. Stop loss is protected fairly well. 575 to make 12. Okay, they did just break through this. Do we have any high volume nodes above? Mm. Oh, I'm probably really stupid. We came right to this, right? Alrighty. I didn't give myself enough time to look at futures, I guess, before we opened here. This was our entry long that we just missed. Sorry, everybody. 878. Yeah, that was sexy. And you're going to easily get 10 points. They're going to go 88. Um, and then possibly more. We have a strong high. So that's why I would be wanting to, exit like 88-ish, right around there, or something like that. But I missed it anyway. It doesn't matter. Um, so we will revisit this later. Um, pretty unhappy with myself for completely spacing out on that massive order block sitting right here. And there's no reason to transpose this um, over to SPY because this is going to be run through by the morning. This is going to be run through by the morning. And we will worry about this stuff live tomorrow when we're trading. I don't see anything that I really love. Like this is 14,000 orders. It's decent. It's not as good as 31,000, right? God, I'm a fucking moron. We could have easily caught a nice 10-point move there if I wasn't a spaz, but whatever. Um, Fortunately, a lot of you guys see me do this like almost every evening when we cover SPY. We call out those nice moves on futures live. We missed this one. Life goes on. Um, we'll check out our cluster chart really quick and just make sure we don't have any crazy imbalances that we should be aware of. But so basically, this is what I'm going to be streaming. I'm going to be streaming 5-minute cluster or footprint chart and a 30-minute cluster chart. So we definitely want to be aware of this. 912 to 915. If we get up here, you're probably looking for them to peek through and then fail, but wouldn't be terrible to get puts or short right on a touch of this. What's that? 19 to 12. And if we come here, you're looking for like you're looking for a good move down. Here comes 88, right? I was actually wanting to close at 87.50, but I feel like they should tap 88. Okay, so we need the imbalance on our chart. That's going to be an important one for tomorrow. I forget what the level was though. 12 to 14. Oh, I'm going to take this off because again, um, We'll figure that out live tomorrow. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm like I actually have been sleeping too much cuz this week I was only supposed to work Thursday and Friday. And then a lot of you know, like I went to work Friday night. I when I was at home, like I wasn't feeling great, but like also just not horrible. And I was just kind of like, whatever, like, you know, I'll be okay. I'll get through the night. It's not a big deal. And then I went to work and I got report on all my patients. And then I was just sitting there. Um, I was just sitting there like after I got report because my stomach wasn't feeling great. And then I just started sweating like all over. Well, there's my take profit level. Thanks, boys. Um, there's 88. I would expect them to reject here, but they could also smash through this and go higher. Um, but anyway, I just started sweating and then my stomach was like just not feeling good. And then came the moment where I was like, oh shit, like I need to go to the bathroom now because I'm about to die. And I'll be the first one to tell everybody I am a bitch when it comes to like being sick. So I literally went into like, I guess it's kind of like a private bathroom at work, but it's still like a public private bathroom, and just straight up laid on the floor, hugged the bowl, and just tore that shit up. And then after all of that, um, I was like feeling me. And so I went, or actually, like, I called my supervisor from the bathroom and I was like, hey, like, it was like 5 minutes before the day shift people were going to leave. And I was like, you might want to see if somebody can stay over because I don't think I'm going to be able to work. I'm like, I'm hoping, you know, like I'm going to get this out of my system and I'll be okay. But I was like, I really don't think I'm going to be able to work. And so she like hustled and found somebody. And then I come walking out of the bathroom, just like my scrubs are wet in sweat, right? Like I'm just covered in sweat. I was super pale. And Discord has two audios. That's wild. I wonder why. Anyway, um, I go I go back in like our report room and I sit down and I'm just like trying to process what just happened. And then I start feeling sick again. And now I'm like sweating profusely, like I'm drenched. I run in the bathroom, and as I'm heading to the bathroom, I'm like, oh crap. I think if I throw up, like the exertion of me throwing up is going to make me crap at the same time. And so I'm like trying to get my pants down before I got to the toilet, and it was like close. And I sat down and I just picked up the trash can and I just was hugging the trash can and just whatever, both, yeah. It was like a fountain out of both sides. And I was like, oh, this is not good. Evangelos, I should be live like right at like 15 minutes before the New York session open. Anyway, I'm sorry if I'm being too graphic, everybody. I'm not trying to be graphic, but it was not a good time. Um, and I frankly, like, I wouldn't even be complaining about it. But the biggest issue was I was at work and, you know, like I could ask my wife to come and pick me up. That's not an issue. But I'm like, what difference is it going to make if she's driving or I'm driving and I've got, you know, projectile, like, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen regardless of if I'm on my motorcycle or in her car. But the difference is like in her car, I can, or I mean, on my motorcycle, I can get home quicker. Right. So, Fortunately, somebody I work with gave me Zofran, and that seemed to settle my stomach enough. And then, um, oh, this is not that. Oops, 1L. Anyway, so that was like my biggest concern was like, how in the hell am I going to get home? Um, anyway, fortunately, I made it home without any issues. Um, what am I doing? And again, like that was my biggest concern was just getting home. I got home okay. I don't know what I'm doing, everybody. I'm sorry. This is not my first time charting, I promise. Um, so yeah, anyway, it was definitely rough. What am I looking for? The 5:30 candle right here. Okay. I think that's right. Oh my gosh, I messed this up. There we go. Something like this. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, long story short, got home. I was safe. And life goes on. So our sell side imbalance that we really want to watch if we get back up here is going to be from 688.41 to 688.68. Okay. This is going to be a good spot to be in puts. Alrighty. TPO. Oh, we also need to do our weekly levels. Or wait, I haven't done any levels. Sorry, everybody. I am literally losing my mind. All right. Daily levels. All right. There's our dailies. Let's do our weeklies now. I don't know why I'm like all over the place, but I guess too long of a weekend. Oh, so what I was getting at was like I came home Friday night when I was supposed to work all night and like slept, right? And then um Saturday I actually like woke up feeling good. I was a little bit scared to eat food, but I ate food. Everything was okay. And then a buddy of ours was doing like a one man little show at a brewery that's really close to my house. So we went there. I ended up having 3 beers and I was okay. Ate a margarita pizza, hung out with friends, had a good time. Came home last night, slept really good, woke up late today. And wait, like we just fell back, right? Um, on the time. And yeah, anyway, I feel really rested. I feel good. So it should be good tomorrow. Let's look at our October levels. We had been charting them. Value area high didn't really move. POC looks like it moved just a hair. And our October value area low did shift lower. I noticed when I was charting futures, let me go back here. You know, we have this gap here they still have failed to fill. Like here we fell into it, got a major bounce. Very next day they went a little bit lower, major bounce, right? And now, um, like I said, this would have been a good spot to swing calls. I didn't. I wish I did. But now we're gapping up on futures, right? So previous week POC. So we're right around here right now on SPY. Um, but I noticed if we lose this zone, the previous day value area low, previous week value area low, um, you know, and clean all of this up, things could start getting ugly if we fall like back inside October, clean up this second gap that we have. Then we're looking at like a pretty good move to the downside. Um, let's do TPO really quick, and then we'll zoom out and look at like our larger time frames, daily candle. This is a poor high or crowded high. Um, Definitely not single prints. And then down at the bottom we have a poor low or crowded low. So that doesn't really tell us very much. They're going to want to clean up both of these. We have two poor highs above, and we have two poor lows, or a poor low and a poor high below. This one, they managed to gap through, so I've left it on the chart. Right. Let's look at our big time frame. We're still expecting 695 as the next target. I need to take out that 01 because it's bothering my OCD. But yeah, this should be our next target based on measure move of consolidating through here, breaking above. Again, we had mentioned that we would love a retest here, but there is a chance they just run from here and go hit this, right? Volume on Friday was good. It's bearish volume, but we have pretty good buying tail, right? But our volume's good on the day. Let's go check out fear, greed, and all that stuff. If I'm not live tomorrow, you guys have my permission to beat my ass. Okay. Probably in neutral. Possibly fear, yeah. Calendar for tomorrow. I feel like we're going to get news really soon that the government shutdown is over. But so I don't even know how much of this is going to happen. Well, this is Australia, and this is after the market closes. I don't know if Governor McCallum is speaking, or actually, sorry, he's Canadian. So yeah, he'll be speaking at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. I don't know if the ISM manufacturing PMI numbers are going to come out tomorrow. I don't think they will. So nothing really to worry about tomorrow as far as news is concerned. There's just no breaks. I'm just going to do this live tomorrow. That's it. I don't want to call out levels. Right now we're running. It's going to be really hard to like kind of try to guesstimate where they're going to open. I mean, there's a couple of key things that would like to see. Um, for one, I'd like to see them clean up these poor highs, right? If we clean these up and we fall back inside previous day value area high, I'd like to see a sell off down to the low, which should be very doable. Um, if we open down in this range, I would like to see a bounce at the top of this gap. If we don't, I would like to see them just clean up this gap all the way and clean up the poor low and the poor high. Um, or if we keep running in the overnight session, I would love to be in puts or be in short up here, right? Big thing. I hope they don't smash through the levels that I'm looking at for tomorrow. Um, but really, those are kind of the main things that I'm watching for tomorrow. But I would much rather do it live than trying to guesstimate where we're going to open. Um, so we'll do that instead. All right. If anybody has any questions, now is the time. I wonder why there's two audios on Discord. That's weird. What if I... Is there two audios now? Actually, yeah, there has to be. There shouldn't be. It's weird. I wonder if it's picking up my webcam audio. Ow. Is anybody else in Discord hearing two audios? Okay, so it was just Joyce. All right, cool. Perfect. So it's not on my end. Sounds good. Um, Tonight, no. Nope, not at all. Um, could honestly give a shit. Shorty's gonna be live at 9 p.m. Eastern. Um, I mean 7:30 p.m. That's soon. Yeah, that's an hour and 20 minutes away. Um, I mean, I'm not going to be trying to trade a news event. Um, yeah. I wonder if they created any high volume nodes on that run up there. But this, whatever strong high, is kind of sketchy. Single prints. They rejected in a good spot. Um, oh, you're talking about 77 area? The level I had the level I had originally was down at, I want to say it was like, I mean there's, oh shit. Yeah, I can probably go backwards and figure out where it was. Yeah, see, it was down here. 70 to 68. I would actually watch 72, 71, right around there. Here, let me show you why. Sorry. Instead of just giving you numbers. So this is where we bounced, right? Right here. This 31,000. A retest of that might not even be terrible, frankly, because we didn't have confirmation that these were buyers. So right now we need like that full body candle close, opening and closing above. If they give us that and retest this, it might not be a terrible spot to hop in. But also, even if you do hop in at 76, you would want your stop loss below like 70, because we have this cluster here where we've got like almost 20,000 orders. at 72, um, down to 70. And then we've got like another, 16,000 orders here. So if they come back here, it might not be terrible to get in there. Also, might not be terrible to just be patient. Because right now, um, if this candle closes, in 3 minutes above this, then we know these were buyers, right? So this might be the better retest to get in, but they might not give it to us if they bounce here. You see what I'm saying? So like you have to decide as a trader, like, do I want to get in here possibly early and have my stop loss, take my stop loss, below this, or do I want to wait for them to retest this area and get in and be able to have, like not as aggressive as of a stop loss. So, yeah. Look at this. 878, 117. Nice. Yeah. All right. I'm going to close this stuff down. Hopefully we're able to do the live stream of the cluster charts and footprint charts pretty soon here. I'm going to get it up and going as soon as I can. Right now I'm waiting for that account to be approved. And then I've got to figure out, I guess, the logistics of it. Meaning that I'm pretty sure I need to deposit AMP, or I need to deposit money into AMP. And I'm just going to deposit enough, I guess, because like I'm not planning on trading this account. So hopefully it makes sense. Like I don't want to be streaming it and have like my mouse moving around and like I'm doing shit. I just want to stream the numbers. That way people can watch them. So I kind of want to just deposit the minimum amount of money I need to deposit and then pay for the footprint charts so we can stream them through Quantower. Obviously, if this goes for a few months and there's not enough people watching, I'm going to cut it. I'm not going to, like spend money and kind of just like waste my money, if that makes sense. But if it gets viewership, which I think it will, then we'll leave it up. And just so you guys know, like I've invested money in doing this because like all of my computers in my house are hardwired. I don't have wireless capability. I mean, mine and my son's computer has wireless capabilities, but we don't use it because we're hardwired. But this computer, being that I'm going to stick it in a closet, I mean, I could run some Cat 6 cable or whatever, but I'm not going to do that. I bought a wireless adapter. That way, I don't have to worry about, running more cables through the house or whatever else. So I am putting a little bit of my own money into getting this up and going for you guys. So hopefully it's well received and it's appreciated. And then again, yeah, I mean, that's the goal really, is just the people that, for whatever reason don't have access. I think, most people, it's not an issue of being able to afford it. It's an issue of either having like an Apple computer where you can't run footprint charts or having no access to a computer at all. So, and obviously like that's a much bigger investment than just paying $35 a month to get than just paying the $35 a month. I had a total brain fart there because I was reading and talking at the same time. Sorry. All right. Anyway, so again, Shorty's going to be live in about 2.5 hours. He's also doing a stock scan. So for people looking to add money to their long-term portfolios, you do not want to miss it. And then everybody else, like I said, I'll be live Shorty's Discord in the morning. And I'll also be dropping a Zoom link for others. And then basically the plan, the rest of the week, probably like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, is to go live in shorties, and I will not be dropping Zoom links anywhere else. Um, the I'm just kind of sharing this with the people in Shorties Discord. Um, Once a week, I like to kind of try to go live just for everybody in YouTube land and whatever else. And then the rest of the week is reserved for people that are in Shorties Discord. Okay. So as always, much love, much respect to everybody. Peace out. Tune in for Shorty. Definitely catch the stock scan. Even if you're just buying a few shares here and there, investing is way better than day trading long run. So make sure you get your investments in and run up those long-term portfolios. Get to a nice, healthy retirement figure. All right. Much love, much respect, everybody. Peace out, and we will see you later. Bye.